Hi, my name is Matt Mallett. I'm the Director of Personal Training and the Director of Education here at Gainesville Health and Fitness. Today we're going to be reviewing some meal prep techniques to allow you to not only eat at home healthier, but also much less expensive than you would if you were eating out. And so what you want to do is actually take the knife and pinch it with your thumb and your first finger at the edge of the blade here, by the spine of the blade up here, and then you're going to gently wrap the other three fingers around the handle of the knife itself. This allows you to maintain that knife in a good straight orientation. The blade doesn't want to kick out from underneath your hand and then end up cutting your non-dominant hand that's holding on to your food. First thing, we don't want to cut off this end of the onion, kind of where the roots come out. And what this does is that releases a lot of those volatile compounds that end up causing you to cry as you're cutting your onions. I don't want to cry here on camera, so I'm going to avoid doing that. So I'm going to cut off this top end first, again, keeping my fingers tucked back. And then all I'm going to do is just, again, barely remove just enough material to be able to handle this. Now that I've got a good flat surface to cut on, I'm going to flip this onion over. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut straight through the onion just like so. From here, all I've got to do is peel the skin off. So first we're going to review that quick, easy way. Now, if you notice the way that an onion grows, it grows in rings, right? And so if we think about it this way, instead of having to cut it in 3 different directions to dice it, we can take advantage of that ringed structure and cut it on the radius here, all right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this around so that I can actually cut this here, is I'm going to turn my knife and then slowly increase the angle of my cuts as I go along here so that I'm bisecting each one of those layers as I go along. I don't want to cut all the way through this because if I do, now I'm having to manage a bunch of pieces that are laying all over my cutting board. So we're going to keep this end on, and then I'm going to make those cuts in that sort of fanning pattern going all the way through the onion here, again leaving that end intact there. And now I'm going to turn this over to this other side and then work that same set of angles in the opposite direction. Now all I have to do from here is hold on to my whole onion. Now I don't have pieces everywhere, and then depending on the size, I can make those very small dices, or I can choose to make them a little bit larger depending on what your recipe ends up calling for. Now when I start to get towards the end, I don't want to waste this material, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn it on the side, and I'm going to cut that all the way down to that root end, and this is all I'm going to be left with.